And welcome everyone to the CBC, the Comic Book Cast presents special
Special
presentation
presentation.
of Marvel
Yeah.
Studios. Was it a Marvel Studios production, Werewolf by Night, or something like that? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. As always, I'm Mitch. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 692 tweets and 692 pics. And of course, I'm joined by Sean.
Hey, you can join me at Marvin the Martian _12 on Instagram.
Yes, Werewolf by Night. Gets completely. I'm going to say it right now. Completely overshadowed in his own special.
Yeah.
Completely overshadowed. No.
Yeah.
Man Thing and Knights of Bloodstone are right there, and I adore
Yeah.
them both. They need protecting at all costs.
It's a. I love the concept that they did with this because I'm gonna start with giving praises to Michael Giacchino. Primo.
I need more. I need more of him.
Modifica. He for what little he's done with directing, I think he did a fantastic job. And then
100%,
on top of that, gives us a cherry on top with the score. It like they wanted to go for that old 1950s monster feel, and they nailed it.
Absolutely nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, from the mood and the tone to the aesthetic it's all perfect. It's all campy horror and done in the best way possible. It's not the monsters from Rob Zombie, because nothing can be that. That is the pinnacle of yes, a poo poo. But it I think, and then you're adding the black and white aesthetic. And I love the fact that the only thing
Which
in color
was part
is
of the plot.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the black and white to be part of the plot, even in a metaphorical sense. But once that kicked in, loved it.
It was perfect.
That was actually fantastic. It was as you say, it was perfect. I loved it so much.
Thor: Love and Thunder did it first, but yes, 100%.
Well, I mean, I guess a little bit, but not in the same way. I think the way he handles it here, spoilers, it's literally she gets the bloodstone and it's signifying out with the old and with the new.
With the new, yeah.
Like these guys and that everything were the 90s, 50s
the
monster
old
hunters.
guard.
It's time for a new generation, and it plays it off like that as she just relaxes after everything. It was. Oh, it's beautiful. I actually love it so much.
I love the fact. I love the end where it just kind of just starts colorizing, and it does so naturally.
Just seeps out. It's all subtle.
Yeah, and I can say this for the grainy. I don't know if you noticed the cigarette burns in the corner of every once in a while.
Yes, I did. There's there's the stepmother's talking.
Yeah.
At one point, it's essentially I think it's when Jack Russell touches the bloodstone, and they all walk up to him and catch him and whatever.
Yeah.
Little Ziggy burn in the corner. I was like, I like.
Yeah. That. Well, because back in the old days, that was due to
genuine.
The real had to start. Yeah, the real. Yeah, and but I love the whole the aesthetic of the show was just perfect. It gave me the Lon Chaney Wolfman feel, and I think it. I've seen a lot of desaturation in movies that were not shot that way, and it looked kind of fake. This really, they did a great job with the visual effects with the show, of that, and it also the black and white aesthetic gave them a good way to hide the gore.
I was going to say, it gave them a pass. This thing would have been a hard R.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And it allowed them to do more of that, that horror-y thing, that hasn't been done in MCU, but until now, and it's, I love the Man-Thing. I've always, I always dug the
Teddy
character.
is a treasure. I have waited forever, and
it erases that 90s movie.
100%.
It erases that 90s movie that was
Wasn't it a 2000s movie?
It was a 2000. It felt like a 90s for sure, but
it felt like a 90s. It felt like the old Captain America movie, but it was
and
it was bad.
the effect of his powers were fantastic. Like
I loved that.
Cannot count the times. Like I remember reading the old like Werewolf by Nights and stuff like that. Marvel 2-in-1s that had Man-Thing in it. And it's just like, how would they do this in the MCU? And this was showing us how they did it in the MCU.
How does everything really burn at the Man-Thing's touch? Like, how does that actually? I saw it in the trailer. I was getting the trailer, and I saw it here. It's just. Well, I said it in the commentator. I mean, as well, right? Like the way. I'm gonna gush about Man-Thing a lot, right?
Yeah.
I adore this character. I said before this came out. Like from the trailer, like I need him to do like the sarcastic monologues in his head, like the semi-rhyming, like a bit like an R.L. Stein situation, right?
Yeah.
Obviously I didn't get that here. I'm hoping for down the line, but way that the movement works in his body language, you can feel the sarcasm. Like when he comes back and she's like, he went that way. Like, but before that, he just kind of standing there going, well, where the fuck is he? Like he just has that like shoulder shrug, like, well, come on. It was just faultless for Matt. At least for Matt, I think it was absolutely faultless. I would die on that hill for that guy.
I think I remember reading it like a review or like someone said why did they have the Man-Thing in this? It's like I think people don't realize how important this character really is.
Man-Thing, despite being a very obscure character, is at
super
least
important.
What he guards is very important, right? And obviously, being the guardian, the custodian of that, right, is an important job. It's very downplayed in the comics for whatever reason. And like, even when they do multiversal stuff, they never really go to Man-Thing, right? I don't get why, but like, God bless Feige coming out and be like, no, if we're gonna do this, I want Man-Thing in here.
I mean,
I better see that Nexus the next time we see Man-Thing. Like he's, I just can't wait.
It was such a great. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, I love the transformation from
the typical like old like B movie horror, like we don't really see it. He's still the silhouettes. That's fantastic.
Now, side note, does anybody get the joke with Jack Russell?
I mean,
he's a dog. That's a dog's name, you know.
I was gonna say, are you mean the very obvious one that they actually don't say his full name in this? They only ever called him Jack. They don't say Jack Russell, which I assume is because they kind of want you to. They're playing on who's the werewolf sort of thing. Like it's clearly this guy that's like looking all sheepish, walking into a Monster Hunter funeral. But but it's. I'm pretty certain there's not a soul on this earth that doesn't get the Jack Russell joke.
Good.
I can say that with confidence. If there is, they're literally been born half an hour ago.
And I'm here to explain it to you. And he's like,
but, this guy's a werewolf and he's named after a
dog. The werewolf makeup is fantastic. I love it. You know, like it
looks
school.
Purposely bad, and I love it for it.
Well, you know,
they could have gone with like neat CGI and it looked all smooth, and it could have looked like matted, but it's too matted to be really matted and all this sort of stuff. It's like, no, we're just gonna dump a fursuit on this bloke and call it a day.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think this was like a part of the conversation with Feige and Giacomo. You know, it's like, you know, the CGI is great, but like I think it plays on the fact that it's all like it's prosthetics. It plays on the old, you know, what the show is ribbon off of it being, you know, the old Lon Chaney movies. You know, it's like just a guy with some hair glued onto his face. You know, it's You know,
you never really get a good look at it either, right? Like there's that one shot of him where he's like, you know, the arms are out, the claws are out. It's like, yeah, that's a very nice shot of Werewolf by Night. But then after that, it's all quick movements. It's obviously all the flashing lights to hide everything. It's like it's playing on that trick of your imagination's always worse. Like what you can imagine is 10 times worse than what you can actually see.
Yeah, but also I love the silliness. There's a silliness to the hunters too, like with the over exaggerated axes, and they're just.
I mean, the fact that her dad is like a zombie. Was that was that
Yeah.
Ulysses Bloodstone
That
just
was.
like talking, just being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
look, this is you go do this thing." Haha, rotten hell. Bye.
It almost felt like a like it's being puppeteered in a way,
Yeah, it feels like the old like
intentionally.
fairground crypt keeper sort of things, like fortune teller. Like they just like lean forward and they got that little rock because the pistons aren't really holding it and then it falls back down.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. This and then the set dressing, fantastic. I love the setting. The set dressing is perfect, man. It's that old spooky feeling. Heads on the the vampire heads
Yeah,
mounted
you
to the
got the
wall.
Nosferatus, you got the Wendigos, you got a ton
And
of stuff.
the paintings, it's all Easter eggs. Like you look at it and it's like.
Speaking of, right, there's a shot when they walk through like the entrance hall. There's the mural either side of the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
On one of the bits they show you it twice. It looks like gore from the comics,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like,
I'm not sure.
Armin pointed it out because it's got like the head tendrils.
Uh-huh.
Like it's literally just there's no like clothes or anything. It's like the little like the
Yeah.
head tentacles come down. It's like, is that gore? Like, it'd be a
Mm-hmm.
really random spot to put gore in, but that's definitely
Well,
looks like gore.
he is a monster, so I mean, extra dimensional monster. But, I don't know. I can ask to see what that.
No, I don't think it is, but it's just like if
I
you
mean,
literally
like,
go watch it again, like it's absolutely it looks like gore from the comics. Like.
definitely gonna have to check that out. I missed that one. Yeah, it's such a love letter to the old movies that like
Yeah.
it's like it's. I remember when they were talking about making the show, and then like I was kind of like, wow, that's very obscure. That's a pull for sure. But like when I started seeing it like more developed, it was just like, man, they are pulling this off. And
I
then,
say this could have gone sideways real
this could
quick, right?
have
This could have
sure.
gone, but then you could have like pulled it back and be like, oh, it's intentionally bad. Like you probably could have got away with that argument, right? But it clearly didn't go that way. It's obviously intentionally bad in a good like in an intentional way.
Yeah, it's intentionally
just
cheesy,
works. Yeah.
but it's
But I was not expecting like I said this in the commentary again. Like it felt like a Monster Hunter Squid Game. Like I wasn't expecting.
Never thought about that.
Like even like the sets when they're outside and he's trying to blow up the wall, which by the way, fantastic. Just that one gag of that little grenade, I adored it. But like it looked like Squid Game, like just where they got all these random stairs and arches everywhere, and like or the same arch they use like 100 times to like bring a character on screen. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was some inspiration to it. Like it's, like.
I say if it wasn't cool, I just got that vibe. I was like, this is literally a Monster Hunter Squid Game. But the hunters, the other hunters are great.
Yeah,
I will say, and I've seen some other people say this as well. Jack and Elsa, very much Kristen Ritter and Martin Freeman. 100%. Like, there's some scenes in this I genuinely got confused if it was Jessica Jones or not.
Well, it's hard.
Not only
it's because it's black and white, right?
It's black and white. He had the leather jacket, but Laura Donnelly looks like Kristen Ritter.
Like Ritter, yeah.
Like not from a side profile because they got two very distinct noses, but like from the front with the black dark hair and the way the makeup was done on the jacket, I was like, that is Jessica Jones. And then when they're in the cage and he's like sniffing her and all this, trying to remember and whatever, I was like, he looks like in this light, he looks like Martin Freeman. And like, there's just some mannerisms he done, and I was like, that's Martin Freeman. And I'd love to know if that was intentional or not, because it really feels like it is. But and if those four ever met on screen, that would be a very interesting.
It'll be like this. It'll be like that Spider-Man meme, where they're just pointing at each other.
It's like I just sitting there watching it, going like, no, that's Martin Freeman. It's like, no, it's not. I know it's not Martin
The
Freeman, but he's acting. He acts like it. It's just like
the Kristen Ritter one is definitely. I can see that.
yeah,
100%. You know, and then the black and white. Well, like the black and white definitely helps that because it's like
yeah.
you know, like because like Kristen Ritter's like very pale. You know.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah. That woman is almost translucent, bless her. Right.
But like, you know, that when they start winning the color, they're like, oh, I see color in her skin. I was like, nope, it is not Kristen
I mean,
Ritter.
even at the start, right? Because you don't really get a good look at Elsa, but I'm that jacket is like the exact jacket she needs
Yeah,
as Elsa
iconic.
Bloodstone is so like perfectly saturated. Even when you first see it, it's like she looks a bit like Christina. Just everything about her.
Part of me is bummed that we didn't get to see her father in like a flashback or something like that.
Yeah, but I suppose it's only like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It's short, right? Like he I only found out Ulysses Bloodstone was like from the 50s, like 60s Marvel.
60s,
Like that Bloodstone stuff is old in Marvel. I didn't even realize Elsa was nearly like 22 years old in comics at this point. I could have sworn she was only like 10 years ago. But like, god damn, like they
very
flew
obscure
right
characters.
under my radar. Like that's
it's a very obscure. It's more obscure than the Eternals for sure. Yeah, like the Eternals had some.
The Eternals have had more issues than Werewolf by Night and Elsa Bloodstone. All that.
Yeah, well, Werewolf by Night, I feel it has a little bit of more notoriety over Elsa and Ulysses of Bloodstone.
I mean, he does, but I think that's because he's been in like more stuff, like more crossovers and all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I think he's more known for Moon Knight's first adversary than anything else. You know.
Or Moon Knight was his first. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moon Knight was Jack Russell's
potato.
first adversry. Yeah. Which I'm going to say right now that the honey dicking this thing gave me by having the same logo as Moon Knight to then not even they had the audacity to not have him in here. Though I will say I don't think
there was no
where Moon Knight is currently wouldn't have fit in this. I don't think that.
I think it would have been a lot worse.
It could have worked. Maybe if like we had like Moon Knight season 2, but like right now, I don't think it would work as such. What would have worked, however,
there's a way to fit that character in that aesthetic, but I think right now it's kind of like, I mean, because you could stretch it and use the moon, you know, Khonshu, you know, you can have Khonshu relics in there. I don't know, you know, there's something, but it's a very it's like stretchy, you know, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But I think
I think Moon Knight as a character is too green to have been in this right now. But someone who absolutely should have been in this, and I know they were trying and it was all scheduling, was Blade. Blade would have fit so. Like, you bring him in with that original suit and the like. He's like, just take out one of the hunters and have Blade. It would have worked so well.
Well, I think there's a stand-in for Blade in that show, and that it's not. It's kind of because like you've seen the black guy, the African American one, Hunter. I could have been very well.
Yeah,
Blade,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because he has the scar on his head, doesn't he? You don't really get a lot of screen time with him. Yeah.
I think that's the most unfortunate part. I think Blade has had a run of a really. I don't want to say bad luck.
It's had a rocky start.
Yeah,
I think a rocky start. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with how he was kind of introduced in the MCU, I mean, with the voiceover, which
introduced is a strong word, but yeah.
Well, I mean, that didn't really bother me. I got kind of sort of like him. I got what it was going for, but I think it would have been a lot stronger to have him on, you know, front and center. You know.
Yeah. That should have been a Nick Fury and Iron Man 1 moment. And
yeah, but I mean, you can't. I mean, it's the what ifs, you know, of everything. You know, like it wasn't meant to be at this point. You know, unfortunately. So I don't know. You know, I think once Blade hits, it's gonna be. I think people are gonna love it.
I hope so. I hope it. I hope its troubles are long behind it. And I hope it absolutely hits the ground running and nails it.
I can honestly say I think people are going to really love that final version of what the character looks like, how it feels. You know, I'm not gonna butcher his name. I love the. We've already went through this before. I think earlier off Mike. I can't really say his name.
Mahershala Ali. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's how my mush mouth pronounces it anyway. Ali.
He was
Just call him,
he was the
Ali.
perfect choice for the character, and I think people are gonna see it once they see it. I think they're gonna be like, forget everything, all the bad starts, all the bad luck happening. I think people are gonna like, okay, I got this. Like it's. I think they're once they introduce that look. The look is really on point from what I've seen.
Yeah.
It's. It is what it is.
Just, as you say, it is what it is. It's something where his absence was really noticeable for me.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the stand-in. I mean,
even without knowing it's a stand-in, right? It's something was like he would have gone so well in this.
Yeah.
I don't think you can just literally just plot and it changes nothing. It just adds to it in total. But
the character fits very well, and it's almost it's not a square peg with a round hole. It's a they fit perfectly. I mean, it fits so perfectly. The Easter egg of the vampire thing was normal. It felt kind of,
especially when Jack's literally out here. He's like, oh yeah, I fought him a few times. Like you could just but Blade could have just been right there, and that could have been his.
No.
It's like, oh yeah, that was mine. Yeah, like it just fits so well.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's unfortunate.
It wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. Which it is unfortunate. That's the only. It's not even a. I mean, it's a downside. I'm not using it as a negative against this thing. And when it's like, crap happens, right? But it's.
Yeah.
It was just no.
It would have been a lot better. The show is fantastic. It didn't take away from the enjoyment that I had for the show. It just would have emphasized how much more better the show was. If that character.
Because I'll be honest, part of me, I'm not disappointed or upset. Blade wasn't in it. It's what it is, right? Like it's.
Disappointed could be a good word to describe it. It's just a little disappointing.
No, because I think
it's not a problem.
I don't think that does the special justice, right? I think being disappointed by it, it's like, well, I'm not here. It's like, Daredevil and She-Hulk, right? It's like, I'm not here for Blade. It's just Blade would have been a nice little thing on top of it, right? But it's
Blade's the cherry on top. He's the cherry on top,
I'm making it clear. Man-Thing is the cherry on top in this thing.
That's true. No, he's the whipped cream.
I've had 5 seconds of Man-Thing in my life on screen, and this guy's already playing solitaire. I adore. I absolutely adore what this thing does.
If that character got cut, that would have been a problem. I think that would have been epic.
If he got cut after I saw a trailer, I would have been like January 6th at Marvel. No, I would have been all like. It would have not.
I still would have loved this show. I think it again. I think the character inclusion it makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
My English sucks, man. But
you are American. It's excusable.
It's true. Unfortunately, my English always sucks. We don't say the proper King's Queen's English. So.
King's English, you had it right the first time.
I know. I was gonna say that, but I didn't think it was.
You did say it. You changed it to Queen.
No, but I in my mind I was like, should I say the King's? Is that the right expression?
It is now officially everything that was Queen was now King.
That's my American coming out. My ignorance. I got that one. Right.
I feel like I got that.
It's pretty. After what's happened with you guys, I thought it is kind of.
No, you ever struggled with writing the correct date in school and stuff, like after the new year, right? Times that by 100. That's what we're going to do. We've got to do that with money. We've got to do that with the anthem that no one knows the words to. We've got to do that. Literally everything's just like, His Royal Highness, cool, His Majesty. At least people had the foresight to make it like HM. So Her Majesty, His Majesty, it works. But my God, money.
That's forward thinking too.
Anyway, that's a different conversation because the real king here is Man-Thing. I will hear no slander. you will be in the gallows.
Yes.
If you do,
please comment down below, and we'll have a discussion.
If I see one bad thing
how
about
you're wrong,
I'm popping off. I promise.
We'll have a discussion on how wrong you really are. You know?
Yeah.
You
But
are
before
not
we
right.
bring this to an end, there's one line from Jack at the end of this, or I think it's at the end. He's like, "Oh, who's always saving you?" Like implying that they a bit like a
This
Tom
has
and Jerry
happened
thing,
before.
right? They have all hijinks before, and it's not the first time it's happened. I need this to be an annual thing, and it's just Man Thing and Jack Russell. It's Werewolf by Night
Yeah,
getting into all sorts of
it's like
hijinks. I
best
need
buddy cop film ever. You know, like Man
yeah,
Thing and
yeah.
and Werewolf.
And you like Elsa shows up sometimes, and then you get other monsters from Marvel in.
It's like Lethal Weapon, but better. You know.
Yeah. Like
who would be?
Who knows? Maybe next year they break into Dracula's castle, right? And they're trying to they forgot their wallet or something, and they don't want to disturb him because he's already pissed off because they broke a plate. Like just something crazy, like weird Looney Tunes esque like that. Just give me that with these two, please.
Use the name The Tomb of Dracula, and then we're all set.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. All right. That will bring us to an end. So, if you didn't enjoy this one, tough tits. This is one of the best things Marvel has.
It's free.
Ever done.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I know that. This Marvel thing's better than the last Marvel thing is a bit of a trope. This is generally one of the best things they've done.
Yeah, it's right up there for sure.
It's phenomenal. It's fantastic, and yeah, it's okay not to like it, but you're wrong.
And the best part is, if you don't have a color TV,
it don't matter. Well, it doesn't matter again.
Still watch it.
I'm gonna gush about Man Thing again. The mix of like CGI and practicality on that suit is phenomenal. Right?
It's awesome.
He sticks out like a sore thumb because it's bad, but it's intentionally bad, and I would have it no other way. Right.
I love it.
His little ruby eyes. Oh, it's just so...
yeah. It's hard to make that look really good, and like that 2000 movie did not do a good job of it.
No.
It's the Daredevil of its time for sure. The Ben Affleck Daredevil.
I'll say what that Man Thing movie done was like the equivalent.
Sorry, Nick.
Of Warhol Daredevil. I would have loved to have seen Warhol Daredevil. But...
Sorry, Nick, for slandering your favorite.
It's not slander if it's true.
It's true. You can't handle the truth, man. This is what it is.
Yeah. So we'll catch you all next year for the next one. Actually, no, we'll catch you in December because that's the holiday special. That's got some competition now. The bar is high for these special presentations.
Yeah.
James Gunn, I hope you brought your A game.
There better be a Slither kind of creature in there.
Oh, there was one in Guardians 1. He's already done that sort of thing.
That's true. Bring in Harley Quinn or something. I don't know.
There's just a maker in the corner. Like, what's he doing here?
Just put her in one of the jars and the collector's. Anyways, sorry, I'm in a goofy mood. So.
Goofy mood for a goofy presentation because it was.
The aesthetic is perfect.
I'm legit gonna watch it again tonight just for Man Thing. I
might watch it on the plane again for sure.
It's just so good. So yeah.
Well,
bye.
Bye bye.